Hi, everybody. Welcome to hrtech's Demo Hour March 2023 edition, organized by hrtech and powered by RChilli. RChilli is incidentally the trusted partner for parsing, matching, and data enrichment for many corporations globally. Today's session will showcase how we can leverage tech for revolutionizing remote hiring. Strong knowledge of the hrtech ecosystem. Before beginning into the demo hour, let's have a quick overview of us. We are a Singapore-headquartered hrtech market development and analyst firm. We were set up in 2018 in Singapore. Since then, we have now expanded to India and Middle East to help HR teams identify tech solutions for their business and HR challenges. hrtech embarked on the hrtech Demo Hour event series in 2019 to evangelize and promote the use of HR technologies. The event provides a platform for HR technology providers to showcase their high-tech solutions, aiding the adoption of HR tech. And the event motto has always been to showcase demos and not presentations. We have done demo hour events focused on specific topics such as leveraging tech for university hiring, R&R for hybrid workforce, conversational AI in HR, and leveraging tech for talent development, and many more. HR tech market trends in the talent acquisition department. Why are we having this session talking about the increasing need for leveraging recruitment technology to revolutionize remote hiring? The points being the rise of data-driven recruitment. With data-driven, easier, more efficient, and cost-effective. AI-powered recruitment. AI is being increasingly used in the recruitment process to automate tasks such as resume screening, candidate sourcing, and scheduling interviews. Virtual hiring. The pandemic has accelerated the adoption of virtual hiring technologies such as video interviews, virtual job fairs, and online assessment tools. Video interviewing technology can revolutionize remote hiring by allowing companies to conduct remote interviews with candidates from anywhere in the world. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. DEI has become a top priority for many companies, and HR tech tools can help support these efforts in talent acquisition. For example, some tools use AI to eliminate bias in job postings and candidate screening, while others offer training and development resources to promote diversity and inclusion in the workplace. Overall, the HR tech market for talent acquisition is technologies and trends are likely to have a competitive advantage in attracting and retaining top talent. Not surprisingly, US dollars 4.56 billion has been pumped into HR tech startups in the talent acquisition segment in 2022, and 554.4 million till date out of US dollars 1.71 billion across the HR tech space in 2023. This is definitely a region to watch out for the HR and HR tech perspectives. We're thrilled to invite as a part of our HR panel to witness the demos and clarify questions on behalf of the many HR professionals who will be watching this as on-demand format on YouTube. We are highly delighted to host Aishwarya Srinivasan, Head of Talent Acquisition, Guardian. To present the demos, we have Dream.jobs presented by Milind, Incruiter represented by Anil, and Skuad represented by Kungshuk. Thank you for joining in. Over to you, Milind. You may now continue.
So I'd like to introduce the how to boost the recruitment with fair hire ecosystem. As was said, I'm Milan Mahovsky, and my motto is that we are able to connect job seekers with their dream jobs very fast, of course, without bias and other obstacles in the mean place. Dream jobs has been noticed by every single almost international newspaper or magazines, and we are trusted by investors from Zero Gravity, Datacentrics, and Microsoft startups. Of course, we work with some corporate companies. There is some management team, ex-Deloitte, Microsoft, and so on. So we've got quite strong background in the multinationals. What ecosystem means is that we are trying to improve the automation of the recruitment with key focus on the company career web, because this is the narrow point for a lot of companies to make the ecosystem which is working together without any manual work. What we do is that we have got job portal, but also we do internal job board to promote internal promotions and internal changing of the jobs or joining some project within the organizations with the aim to decrease the employee fluctuation. And what is our key product is customizable career pages, which is connected to the recruitment software, ATS, HR software, and can be done within a week. And if it's needed, we can set up the career page, for some countries to receive much more CVs than it's typical. And because of the AI included and change of the process, I show later. So in the end, the candidate has got a very easy possibility to apply for a job in very simple 3 steps process. So why we should take care about the career pages is because most of the companies are losing 95% of all employees, of all potential employees. But most successful companies are reporting that 50% of all hirings comes from their website. So why to spend money on the expensive recruitment agencies or job portals if you can hire people through your website and hire the people who are much more motivated to work for your company? So that's the biggest difference between the standard career pages and customizable career pages. And there are, of course, much more information about it, but I won't bother you with the details, and I would prefer to show you the product itself. So here is one of the implementations for a company called DataCentics. When you go to their website and you click on the career, this is one of the easiest way how to have a career site with directly shown positions on the first page. Yeah, so you can see that candidate can immediately go through the positions and just directly apply from the first page. We call this solution one pager. And what is important is for the candidate is that there is a button job alert, which means that if he doesn't find the right position with himself, he can just like with clicks, and authorization, set up the job alert, which will help the candidate to receive next open positions from the company. Yeah. So all new positions he can apply for. There is another type of the solutions from the UI, which is a little bit different type of career page because they've got good brand. They don't show the positions immediately, but they try to attract the candidates from the button drag your CV here. Because they've got like some specialists in, for example, IT services or tax services, and the button for the view available positions are on the bottom. Another mixed solution of the career page is done. It's done, by the investment company Tain. Which they decided to go, to give an option to the candidate either to apply through the LinkedIn or, upload CV or view available positions. The parts of the website, of course, are fully customizable, and it's already like pre-designed and pre-programmed so that the implementation is extremely fast. Here you can also see a little bit different style of like choosing of the positions and filters and so on. There's totally new design which we are preparing for multinational company, which is betting software. So it's not in production yet, but I'd like to show it to you because it's on our new way or layout of the graphic design. So this company is implementing the multi-site for six countries where they are solving the language issues to be able to present, on the language which is relevant, to the concrete country, including the Germany, Poland, or India. So I show you what is the process for the candidate, so you can see how seamless application it could be. Here is our job portal, which candidate is prompted, not to search for the position, but get started with uploading CV here. If he's not persuaded, of course, he can scroll down and try to understand, what are the benefits of this job portal. But most of the candidates, they see one way to act. That means get started and upload his CV or her CV. So when you upload a CV, you can be prompted, by some GDPR, CCPA, or other type of requirements, which is done by law, and then explore the opportunities which are already sorted by the relevance. So, which means that if you upload IT position or administrating position, you can get, only the relevant jobs which you need. If you would like to look, for some specific location, you can of course select the location which you want. You can see that this is like Google style, and the Prague is also not only Czechia but United States, and in different countries. All the positions are typically taken from some ATS. So if you have got any ATS, the job descriptions, the data from the advertisement are automatically public from your ATS. And of course, the candidates are then uploaded to your ATS. I'm saying to your ATS because we have integrated almost 50 ATSs, and going farther on, to integrate much more. So everything is seamless and easy because you just work with your ATS you are used to, or we can connect your ATS which you like, and have done the career pages in a week on your domain, powered by AI and supporting no bias hiring. So thank you very much for watching the basic demo of Dream.jobs career pages, and potentially also the pages for the internal use as an internal job board.
Thank you, Milind. Thank you, Milind, for that quick demo and presentation. I now request Aishwarya to begin with a Q&A.
Thank you, Vanshita. Thank you, Milind. That was indeed a good presentation. Let me just start to, with a couple of basic questions. So you did mention a whole bunch of ATS that, you've integrated with. So from what are typically your target companies? Who are you, kind of targeting with this kind of a career page?
Yeah, most of our clients comes from companies 500 employees plus.
Mm-hmm.
Because they would like to have presented 10, 15, 20, 100 positions on their website.
Mm-hmm.
So small companies are also our clients, but they can use much easier solutions than us. So we solve typical like mid-size and large companies. And now it looks like that much more global organizations which has got issues like multi-sites, multi-language, or multi-connection of ATSs, it's something we can extremely fast to solve, because
Mm-hmm.
the system integrators, they just takes 3 to 6 months to integrate everything and put it together, and you pay a lot of money, and we have got like pre-designed and pre-connected all this stuff. So yeah, mid-size,
Okay.
large-size companies.
Okay. No. The reason I'm asking is why would to use this product, right? Why would somebody, like say someone who's already probably existing and has a career page on LinkedIn or something like that, why would they look at Dream.jobs as an option?
Yeah. What are the case studies? one type of company is that they've got technical issues. Yeah, technical issues means like bad responsiveness, bad working of filters, bad connection of ATSs, outages because their IT is not able to maintain the integrations, and so that's one of the key issues. It's long term working of the website. So even they build it themselves, they find out that the world is changing, and they'd like to have different filters, and we just like click on and play with the new filter, and they wait for their IT 3 months, because business is first, HR is the last. So that's the typical situation in every company.
Okay. No, but I'm still trying to understand, because if you are looking at, that's why I asked what your target segment is. If it's about 500 plus, already mid to large size, if I'm going to talk that way with about 100 plus jobs that they're doing, then probably in the geography they are in, they're already on specific, search platforms. If I'm going to talk about India, it'll probably be a Naukri or a LinkedIn where they already have presence. They do their talent branding through that. Everything flows through that, right? So where does Dream.jobs fit in? That's what I was trying to understand.
Yeah, I understand that people are hiring through LinkedIn or other job boards, but a lot of people they naturally go to their website.
Correct.
So either it's eShop or some international company, or some company just like got naturally quite good visibility of their website. So and they can attract more talented or more engaged candidates directly for their website for free. Yeah, that's the key goal for every company.
Okay. Got it. No, I hear what you're saying, because again, then the ATS comes into play, right? Like a mid-sized company which is already using a Workday, for example, as an ATS, and they are pulling in data from their career website, into the Workday system. Then where does Dream.jobs fit in? Because they already have an ATS, they have a well-engineered, like at least a decent career page to attract talent. So do you do something on top of what a regular career page integration with an ATS does, which you can highlight? Then maybe we can see some value add there.
Absolutely. You mentioned Workday. Very similar solution. It's SuccessFactor. I presented the career site for the Ernst & Young, and what was happening with the Ernst & Young? The candidate had to go through, I think, 12 steps process to get to the SuccessFactor from their website. He come to the position, 10 clicks, uploaded CV, then he was prompted once more by the SuccessFactor to upload the CV once more, and they were losing 50% of all people who clicked on the first page. So the application process is so complicated that they lose the people who would like to work for the Ernst & Young. So that's that our product is like very simple, very easy for the candidate. So the best candidate experience brings you more candidates which want to work for your company. And also the solutions like Job Alert, which is AI powered and doesn't spam the candidate, by not relevant positions, helps to improve the perceivedness of the employer as a top quality employer who doesn't spam the potential people, potential employees. So we are just like improving, the whole candidate experience and improving the employer branding, with the seamless application process. And also for the countries which they've got not enough candidates. Obviously, probably it's not India. But when we speak about the Singapore, where they would like visa restrictions, they would like to hire, more candidates. And typical candidate is searching for a job and he doesn't find a job. Maybe the job appears tomorrow. But yes, we have got the CV first approach. Mainly the candidate comes, upload the CV. Maybe he doesn't find the job now, but the job alert or the CV you receive in the ATS, then you can reuse maybe in 1 week time or in 1 month. So we are collecting the candidates to your talent pool to be able to hire the person later on. So most of our clients comes from this area. that they have got big demand for employees, but they see that 100 people comes to their website, but they got only 5 CVs from the 100 visitors, and we are able to triple or even 5 times grow the number of CVs because of the CVs first approach.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Thank you, Ashwarya.
Thank you.
For your presentation. I'd now like to invite Anil Agarwal from Incruiter for his 12-minute session.
I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, Anil.
Yeah. So Incruiter, we started in year 2018 as a one-stop interview solution. So we started with interview as a service platform. Now we have 4 products on our portfolio, and more than 2,200 expert interviewers conduct interviews through our platform. More than 200 plus clients working around the world. A pool of expert panelists, all 10% of conducting interviews, and we mostly conduct interviews for IT sector, 90% of IT sector, but we do have clients from non-IT sector also using our platform to conduct interviews or using our product to conduct interviews, both the way. And all this happens through our specialized video interview platform. So we have 4 products as discussed. Incserve, which is interview as a service, where client use our platform to conduct interviews, and interviews are conducted by our panels. The video interview platform, Incruiter, where companies use our platform to conduct interviews, and panels are the internal panel. Now, why to use our platform to conduct interviews? A lot of features are there. Panel management, tracking the panels, tracking the candidate, an entire video interview platform where you have a real-time feedback system, you have a live coding compiler, you have a question bank, everything integrated there in the interview itself. So that's why a lot of companies use video interview platform to conduct interviews. Now, third is for large enterprises, we have interview scheduling platform. If they can use our platform to track interviews. If they are using conducting interviews on Zoom or Google Meet or any kind of Teams. So we have a simple feedback or Chrome extension to collect feedback from those platforms also. And all those things comes to our dashboard. Exit interview platform, that's if large enterprises, when in case of attritions, they use us to conduct exit interviews. But we are the only automated platform, service plus platform in India right now. So, yeah. So why video interview platform? Definitely go beyond the resumes, not only just checking the resumes. We do have systems too where you can do the live coding, compiling everything there and there, record the interviews, make hiring process better and fast. Like candidates have an overall entire thing on the interviews itself. You don't have to move out to the platform to do the code compiling or to share the screen. Everything is then there, and it's quite convenient for them. So this is the platform features: live coding compiler during the interview itself. You can have an entire white label, the video platform, the emails, the reports. You can send a single click Google and Microsoft Calendar invite through our platform. You can record each and every interview. System design testing can be done during the interview itself. We have a WhatsApp and call automation in the sense once the interview is scheduled, automatically candidates gets the WhatsApp call through our platform. WhatsApp message through our platform. Through WhatsApp, we can capture the response saying that the interview is rescheduled, cancel, confirm, all those things. And if he's not responding on the WhatsApp, he automatically get a call. Press 1 to confirm, 2 to reschedule, 3 to cancel. All those things can be done. Automatically, you'll get a daily, weekly, monthly reports on your mail. So how many interviews schedule, cancel, reschedule, all those things can be done. Our system will automatically suggest you skills based on the positions, also questionnaires also. Now we are integrating with the ChatGPT where system, once you upload the position automatically, JD automatically, our system will give you, these are the set of questions you should ask to the candidate. Interviewer will have a real-time feedback system while conducting the interviews. He can give a feedback to the candidate. A detailed analytics dashboard, not only to track the candidates, job applicants, but also to track your panel, how they are conducting the interview, what level of interview is being conducted, what is the duration of the interviews. I'll be showing on the platform. You can manage the entire panel through our platform. Your HR don't have to keep on calling your panel saying that, can you give me a slot? All those things with a single click, you can request for the slot to the panel. Panel can book a slot using their mail, and that comes to our platform. I'll be showing you that over the platform. So that definitely why this increases the interview efficiency, faster feedback process, single click sending the invite to the candidates, or reducing all kind of monotonous of task and faster hiring. Almost we work for 200 plus prestigious clients around the world: Zebia, UST, Atlas, product-based company, and Lina, Spain, Practice. So that was a very quick introduction about the company. I can quickly move to the platform demo. If there is no question. So this is how a platform looks like, where you have a dashboard to track how many interviews being conducted. top position where the interviews are being conducted, positions being filled, rating. Now you can also track how many interviews, like what are the rating of each and every candidate that has been interviewed till date, and what in last 7 days, last, we have various filter. Now this is where the things get good, where like a lot of companies like us, where we can track each and every interviewer also. How many interviewers are conducting interviews on a daily basis, last 7 days, last 30 days, today. What is the duration of the interviews being conducted by your panel internally? We can track those things. So we are not only tracking the candidate here, we're also tracking the efficiency of your panel who is conducting the interview. How many positions particular panel is conducting the interviews in a particular, on a daily basis in last 7 days, last 30 days. You can track as with single every panels. Now, how many panels are giving what selections is? So what is the selection of each and every panel? Suppose one panel is selecting 1 candidate out of 10, but other is selecting 8 candidate out of 10. Now there may be some kind of discrepancy. Do you want to have a look into the interview recordings and all those things? Those can be entirely tracked through our platform. Now, how the interviews are being created here. So simply, as I said, once you select the position, automatically our system will suggest you the mandatory skills and good to have skills. For any of the positions, you can add on skills also. You say that, no, I don't want to add this, please add MongoDB as one of the skill. So even that can be done. Now, why we give a skill set here? So this skill set, when you while creating a position, you give this goes to the interviewer during the interview. While connecting the interviews, he can give rating on all those skill sets. Even you can add the screening question saying that, suppose senior panel is saying for the junior panel, please include these things questions, these all questions while conducting the interviews. In coming days, we are integrating with the ChatGPT, where you just upload the job description and automatically a set of questions will come based on the job description. That's coming to release in next 15 days. So once the position has been created for the particular job description, you can say we are our entire ATS with a video interview platform. And now, who is the panel? This is the main part where our video interview platform come into the picture. Suppose you have 200 panel in the company who is conducting the interviews. Now, every time going to and fro with the panel, asking for the slot, those all things have been removed here. So suppose you said that I have 10 panels and I want some kind of slots from Anil, like when he is available for the interviews. You just have to add a panel here and request his slot. Simple, he will get a mail in his mail saying that, can you book a slot here? Can you book your interview slots? I click on the calendar. I just have to say that next 7 days, next 30 days, I'm available between these slots. And I just add my slot. These slots automatically goes to our platform, where I can see the entire slots here, view slots. Based on his slot, now I can schedule the interview, saying that, okay, he's available this slot. I just click on this candidate in panel, sorry, and then once all I have to do is now just pass the resume of the interview candidate. Automatically, all details will come. Select the panelist, already panel is selected. I can now see his slot. Now say that, okay, he is available this all day between this date and time. And you can set the duration of the interviews and just schedule the interview. That's all. If in case you don't have a candidate slot when to schedule the interview, then you can request the candidate slot. So in this case, like panel got a calendar, candidate will get a calendar invite, and candidate just have to open the calendar and choose the slot as per the panel availability and just schedule his interview. Basically, we have two-way mapping system. Panel can be mapped as per the candidate and candidate can be mapped as per the panel. Simply create an interview and the interview is created. All this interview comes here. Now, once the interview is created, you can see with a single button, you can just schedule the interview, send a Google invite and Microsoft invite. Let me show you how the invite is. From my email ID, I'm sending the invite. Now you can see for particular position, this date and time, this is the candidate, his email ID, interviewer, his email ID. And there is a simple some instructions mail body saying that, thank you for showing interest in this position. This is the link for the interview, date and time. Automatically calendar will be booked. Even you can customize this message and simply send Google invite. That's all. Both panel and candidate gets the invite. All they have to do is now just click on the link and join the interview. Now, how panels take the interview? So suppose let me show you panels, interviewer side videos. So since this interview is completed, otherwise the entire video will be there. So while creating a position, now this is the panel side where I know who is the candidate for whom the interview is being scheduled, his resume, the positions, the experience. Now, while creating a position, you give some mandatory and good to have skills. So now panel, while connecting the interviews, he can give a rating for each and every candidate. He can give a feedback, all those things. He can even add his own skills, saying that I want to add this skill and give a rating for those skill sets. Any optional skill sets given during the creating a position, or he can add manually. Any screening questions you have given, those screening questions will automatically appear, or he can add his own screening questions. Soft skills, he can give the soft skills rating while conducting. How was the approach during the interview? How was the confidence level? How was the communication skill? All those ratings and comments go to the dashboard as a feedback report. And what is his final feedback? Any code written during the interview. So we have a code compiler for all the programming languages. Then and there, interviewer can ask candidate to compile the code and so whether he's able to do it or not. All those code automatically get saved on the report, and that comes as a final feedback report. And finally, he can say that, and the panel can say that he is shortlisted or rejected or no shows or cancelled, and just give a rating, and that gets submitted, and that goes to our dashboard here. All now, the HR has to do is just click on the feedback report and view the feedback report. So this is the candidate who appeared for the interview. Automatic screenshot is coming. Panel has says he scored 60%, but he is rejected. For what position he was doing given the interview, all the skill set rating for the mandatory skill set, optional skill sets, soft skill set, and detailed feedback about the candidate. So in case of any coding done, all coding will also come here. The entire thing will be captured here. You will also have an interview video recording if the interview is recorded. So just click on the interview video recording and you'll be able to see the entire interview video. So this is not recorded, and you will be able to see the entire interview videos. So you can have control of each and every candidates, how many interviews being selected. So if the interviews, let me check if the interviews are recorded. So simple, just click on the interview recording and you'll be able to see the entire interview video here. You can have as many sub-users as possible, and you can control each and every sub-user, saying that for particular role, suppose I have a vendor who is uploading the candidates. You can control what all things they can do, what all things they can check, whether the feedback can be checked, whether he can create a position, he can download the report, whether he can add many sub-users. All those controls have been there for the particular sub-users based on the rules. And in coming days, that's what we are bringing a lot of AI-based features also to track whether some 2 persons are there in the interview, whether the mobile phone is detected, whether he is going to the other tabs, some third-party keyboard or third-party earphone is connected. All those things will be tracking in next 15 days what we're bringing in the update. You can always have a filter for each and everything, download the data, keep your data. So that's how the process has been made. This is a very quick introduction about the platform.
Thank you, Anil. Thank you so much for that quick demo. Over to you, Aishwarya.
Thank you. Thanks, Anil, for the demo. So my first question is, there are a lot of video interview platforms available in the market, right? From Monjin to HireView, HirePro. I think every organization is using one or the other. So what is your USP in terms of, the platform? Why is, in Recruiter, any salient feature that is different from the rest of the platforms?
Correct. So if you see, first thing we say our USP is panel management. You have n number of panel. By simple click, you can request a slot from the panel, and that panel can give a slot using his mail. You don't have to, your HR don't have to keep on following it up. Second thing, mapping the panel calendar and the interview, candidate calendar. So either panel calendar, we can say he is available this time, candidate can be scheduled, or candidate is available this time and he can choose the panel's calendar and as per his availability. That's the first part. Second part, live coding compiler. We have more than 50 to 60 coding compiler live, which is available right now, which can be used during the platform interview itself. Third, I think the kind of dashboard we provide, a lot of companies say, yes, this is the kind of extensive. We are not only just tracking the candidate, but we are also tracking how efficient your panel is. That makes difference for the companies also. So that's where we feel we are, and now bringing a lot of AI features. That's what we are bringing: the proxy checks, impersonation, and integrating the ChatGPT. That will make us more advanced than the other platform right now in the market, I would say.
Okay, and what about integration with existing ATS that a company is using? And if you can just one final question, if you can just also talk about success ratios, right? I mean, between your selects to possibly offers in the company, because that's the whole reason they are using it to reduce time. So both of this, if you can highlight.
Yes. So we have an open API. It can be integrated with any of the ATS. So currently, we're working with SuccessFactors and the Bullhorn to integrate our platform. Lever and all 6 platforms that we're working right now. Now coming to the success ratio, we say if our panel are conducting the interviews, then we say that 70 to 80% shortlisting in the L2 round. Suppose 25 interviews are conducted by our 25 resumes are given by the companies to conduct the interviews, and if interviews are conducted by our panel, in that case, if we are giving 10 shortlisting, out of 10, 7 to 8 are definitely clearing the client round. Now, there are a lot of other factors that come into the picture, how to go for the conversion, that as how much details you give the position, whether you have given more descriptive, what kind of questions should be asked, what kind of questions should be focused on. That based on that, we can say 70 to 80% is what is the conversion what we have right now.
Okay, thank you. Thanks.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Anil. Thank you, Aishwarya, for your question. I'd like to invite Kingshuk from Skuad for his 12 minutes of session. Over to you, Kingshuk.
Thank you. So just quickly about myself, my name is Kingshuk. I'm from Skuad. We are a Singapore headquartered company, started 3 years back, April 2020. So you could say we're pandemic baby, if you could put it that way. But what do we do? What is Skuad? So we are an employment company. That's what we are. And we help our clients employ people in 160 countries around the world, wherever they do not have a legal entity. The reason we can do that is because we have legal entities in 160 countries around the world. So wherever clients do not have a legal entity, their employees or contractors come onto our payroll. We become the legal employer and they continue to stay the primary employer. Once we do that, we then help our clients through monthly payrolling, onboarding, contracting, compliance, taxes every single month. And where do we deliver the services, or how do we deliver the services? We deliver the services via a platform. So in a nutshell, that's what we are. And I'll quickly go through a few slides and then deep dive into our platform, showcasing the ease, how you can come log into our platform. Doesn't matter where you have found the candidate. You can go ahead, onboard the candidate within a day, and then set it up, and then sit down, and the monthly pieces of payroll and compliance taxes goes up. So yeah, we're proud to say, as of today, we have 300 plus clients. We're doing payrolling in 80 plus countries every single month as we speak. But we can enable hiring onboarding of talent in 160 countries. Right? And then, as I said, we do everything from payroll to local compliance, and we can employ contractors and full-time employees as well. Moving below, our core flagship offering is the global employment, where any company which does not have a subsidiary can come to us, and then since we have subsidiaries in 160 countries, we then take care of payroll, benefits, taxes, and compliance. The same applies for contractors as well. Particularly when it comes to IC compliance and payouts to contractors as well. Again, we do that through a platform. Just a quick glimpse of some of our global customers. Cactus, Shiprocket, funding societies, a lot of them. So we're a public company as well. Alteryx was, where we're helping them, a couple of countries. But all of them, come to us with that one single problem: help us employ people. Moving ahead, we'll just quickly, just some of the case studies related to some of these companies as well. Cactus is a multinational company, has legal entities in 20 countries. They came to us a couple of years back, saying they wanted to go remote, and they wanted to venture into 5 countries where they did not have a legal entity. And then that's what we started the relationship with them, and then that's continuing as we speak today. The same goes for a few of our customers as well. Rainforest particularly came to us because they're a contractor-heavy organization, wanted to employ 40 odd plus contractors around the world in 13 different countries, and we were able to do that as well. Right. I'll just move ahead. So some of the customer testimonials where how we have helped them and how we've partnered and quickly helped them ramp up their team and global and remote as well. Okay, just moving on to the platform. I'll just stop here, and just in terms of the platform, I'll go through 2 pieces. One is just show you the experience of when a client logs into our platform for the first time. How does that look through? And then we'll talk about a client who's already been in a system for about 1.5 to 2 years and how that looks through as well. So this is our platform. Any client logs in for the first time, lands onto our dashboard, gets to see that they can onboard and pay full-time employees on click of a button. Same holds true for contractors as well. You want to calculate the costs anywhere around the world. A given company in India, let's say, is looking to hire in Poland, and I can just go ahead and select Poland. And let's say I'm looking, I've got a very nice designer in Poland. I do not have a legal entity there. And I want to see what would it cost me to hire this employee in Poland. And that's where I get to see, I want to pay a gross salary of 20,000 USD to this Polish designer. And the total cost that I have to incur is close to about 30,000 USD. If you compare this to the time and cost that would take this company to set up a legal entity there, and the time to find and recruit such talent as well, that's minimal compared to the monthly fee that we charge. Anyway, but what I really quickly want to go through is first give a glimpse of the different sections that are there in our platform, deep dive into a couple of sections, maybe how quickly someone can go ahead, add a new contractor, and just enable employment on the go. So we have the dashboard view, of course. You have a people section where you can see details of people and what they are. So, if I click on the people section, you can get to see active people. You can see ones where the onboarding is going on. And then you have a time tracking section where you can actually track time for these employees, a payroll and invoicing section, an expenses section where your employees can come and, of course, put in expenses, and you can approve the expenses as well. But let me go back to the interesting piece, which is the dashboard. And assume a client comes in, wants to add a new contractor. And in this case, the client says, I have a contractor in Poland. I want to, start onboarding this contractor and send out a contract to this guy. So I'll just go ahead. I'll just say, I'll just say, let's say, go ahead. I'll select some start date, and let's say I want this guy to start on 31st of the month. I'll go ahead. I'll quickly just put down, I'll just say this guy is a designer. This is a front-end designer, front-end designer. This guy belongs to the product team in the organization. I just say, this guy will report to me. I'm happy with 15 days of notice period. I just put 15 days of notice period. I go ahead, I click on the payment details. And I want to pay out this contractor every single month via Skuad. And I go ahead and put the monthly salary. I go ahead. I just go ahead and say I have not signed the contract, and in this case, I'll say I would like to create the contract right away, and I'll say I'll sign the contract with the contractor. I quickly go to preview. I get to see a preview of all the details that's been added. Preview contract, and voila, you have your agreement set up here as well. Okay? So there's the actual agreement, which you can quickly review. You can download this as well and send it across to your contractor. And there you are. Onboarding a contractor becomes a breeze if you do not have a legal entity. So I'll just move ahead. That's the contract. You can go ahead. I can scroll down. You can review, and you can just send it off for signing to your contractor. And that's about it. Yeah. Now, that's the same with the employee as well. You can go ahead and add your employees, create contracts, and just send it out to your employees on our go. The dashboard encapsulates a few of the things as well. Some of the payments that's pending, and kind of requests that's been submitted by employees as well, and time offs too. Any kind of leaves, etc., which your employees have put, and you can submit that through the platform. What I'll do is I'll quickly get on to a view where I'll run through a company which has actually set up everything, which has onboarded quite a few employees, and just look at how their dashboard looks like. So I'll just switch my view. And then that's a company where they have 11 active members in 7 different countries. There's 3 pending payments for them as well, and no pending requests for them. So tells me a quick, summary of, where or what all the client needs to do at any given point in time. So for this client, there's 10 people where the offboarding is in progress. We as an employment company, of course, take care of all the offboarding formalities. And then there's, of course, a payment which is overdue for payment. I click on this one, lands me to the invoicing section. The client can click on this, get to see their invoices, and just go ahead and pay from it. So that's typically how the invoicing looks like. Payroll for the clients is monthly payroll every single month. I can click on this. I can have an individual view as well. I have hired 7 people in 7 different countries. How do I get to see that? So you can get to see individual payrolls broken down, and you can see a country summary as well. So in this case, this particular client, I believe, has employees in 7 different countries, and that's what you get to see. And each of those, the summary of and the breakdown of those payrolls as well. So that's a quick run through of the payroll and the invoicing section. Just on the expenses side as well. So you, of course, you've hired these employees in different countries. They're bound to send you some expenses. This is where you can get to see the expenses. Right? You get to see the expenses. You can approve it from the system itself. You can go ahead, click on any of the expenses, check what the expenses are, and go ahead and you can add in expenses yourself as well. And then just in terms of ease, we have incorporated approval mechanism through emails as well, so that our clients, whoever it is, sometimes not necessarily go to the platform and approve it. They can approve it from the emails itself. We're coming up with something called the conversations, where some of our conversation section, where we are planning to roll this out to our customers in about a couple of months' time. It's essentially an inbuilt chat that we've built ourselves, trying to incorporate some fundamental elements of machine learning and AI as we move ahead. But that's one factor which we want to ramp up in the coming months, and then really truly become great at customer service as well. Just on the people section, last section which I want to run through, nifty breakdown of where your employees are. So this particular client has 11 employees in 7 different countries. There's none where the onboarding is going on, which is the contract drafting and the subsequent signing with the employee. And there's 10 offboardings in progress. So if I click on any one of them, just as an example, there's multiple details that you can see. You can see the job details, and the contract details as well, if there's some. But just a few of those pieces. Okay, I think that's where I'll stop, and I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Kinshuk, for that presentation and demo. Over to you, Aishwarya.
Thank you. So just a couple of questions, Kinshuk. One is on the legal, implications, because you're working across 160 different countries. How do you kind of, what is your assurance to clients in terms of, managing it? Because though it seems like a very feasible solutions when you want to employ people based on skills across the globe. But, what is your next layer in terms of the, commitment towards taking care of the legal side of things? Because I'm sure each country works in a different way, right? So that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And then, I think, so one is that's why we exist. The reason why we exist is because we have to take care of legal and compliance. And for that, we actually have a fairly large in-house legal and compliance team spread around the world. In certain countries, so I mentioned we provide services in 160 countries. We in fact have our own entities in 60 plus countries as of today. The rest of the countries, of course, we have partnered up. But even while onboarding these partners, we've taken double care in the sense we only partner up with companies of sufficient experience in this space. Do note we do quite a elaborate due diligence to the extent of doing financial due diligence as well. And then of course certain aspects of employment we indemnify our clients as well,
Mm.
right? Because we are the legal employer. But there's only certain aspects, right? As long as it relates to employment, we do indemnify. But anything outside of it, that's the client's responsibility.
Okay. Then I think the other question I had, you kind of answered. And in terms of, the number of people that a specific company can onboard on your platform, do you have a cap? Because you're saying 160 countries and, you showed me 10, 11 and all of that, but I'm just curious. Do you have a cap?
No, that's for one client. There's no cap. The more, the merrier for us.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
There's no cap at all. Ultimately, it's the client's decision, right? I mean, if after onboarding 100 employees in one country, they finally decide, okay, I'm going to open up my own entity. That's when we transfer those employees back. Yeah.
Okay, and I just have one last question. I'll stop with this, Vanshita. It's on the background and duplication, right? Because typically these are folks who will come to you after they have identified who it is and all of it. So do you take care of some kind of, background verification, duplication of, folks? I mean, I'm assuming they're not going to be working across 2-3 different entities, but just to understand it, because these are things in the hybrid modern world is becoming pretty rampant. So
yeah, 100%. Ashwarya, yes, we do. Right. So
okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Thank you, Milan. Thank you, Kingshuk. Thank you, Aishwarya.
Thank you.
Coming to an end of our demo on March 2023 edition, where we showcase tools that can revolutionize remote hiring with the latest recruitment technology. I'd like to thank Aishwarya for her time and effort. I thank Milan, Anil, and Kingshuk for accepting our invite and showcasing your demos. I thank all the participants for joining in, and lastly, RChilli and the team for always supporting us. Thank you, RChilli. Thank you, everybody. We'll love to host you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.